joke off camera. I have Aiden sufficiently disappointed in me.
I'm not disappointed in you. I'm disappointed in the fact that what you probably said is probably very true.
That's also very, very likely. Also joined by Amber. Say hi to Amber, everybody, Amber. With the smallest possible voice while she's reading a comic book in the back. She's one of my fellow broadcasters, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. We're on the road to Elmvale. Elmvale. Amber's going to be completely distracted for this entire question period. As we.
I'll put my comics away.
So yeah, this is Move and Attack, where we move to HeroClix tournaments on the road, and we attack your questions, as it were. Of course, we always have the link down below in the descriptions of our videos, so you can catch where you can put in the questions, and we ask them while we're on the way to HeroClix tournaments, because you run out of conversation if you're not careful. So these give us an opportunity to create a different type of conversation and entertain ourselves while entertaining you as well. So without further ado, you ready, Aiden?
Yep.
You ready, Amber?
Yes.
All right. She almost found her broadcasting voice. All right. So the first set of questions are much delayed from Mr. Malcolm Rush, based on the idea of Valentine's Day and love, but not in HeroClix form. So the first question: which HeroClix do you love to play for fun? That's a good question, actually. I like playing guys that make bystander tokens. And when it comes to fun dudes that do that, I'm a little bit harder. You know what? I already have that answer. It's Tyrannus. Watching people go through the sea of pogs he just makes is quite entertaining. I, in fact, had a battle royale where I used Tyrannus and watched Mike destroy pog after pog after pog, only for me to make more and more and more with Tyrannus and just fill the board with his little mole people. So that's definitely a dude who's in the high end of fun for me. What about you, Aiden? What figure do you like to play for fun?
What figure do I like to play for fun? Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Do you love to play for fun?
I love to play for fun.
Love.
I don't know. I've never really thought of I like to play something like, that's like, why are you playing that character? Like, I guess like the more obscure kind of characters, like that we're for some reason getting now. It's like, but your team has like Stegron. Like nobody knew Stegron was probably until the set came out, except unless you read the comic books.
I knew who Stegron was.
Well, I know, but and the fact that he makes dinosaurs. Once I get to play him, he's going to be a fun guy to carry to play with. That's really kind of it.
Spoiler alert, he's very fun. Amber.
So most of my play is usually just for fun, so it's kind of a mix of everything, but I actually really enjoy doing a sort of like really deep theme team, not in the fact that like they're theme team by the rules of the game, but also just like when I play like the Hydras that I played, or playing like Jennifer Kale and all of the man things, or Laura Lamaris and all of the mermaids, like just taking a like leader type character and then throwing all the generics that work together. I love putting together teams like that.
Cool. All right. Next, which HeroClix, this is very specifically worded, do you love to hate to play against? Like, which ones do you sit there and go, I hate this guy so much. Oh, my hatred just makes me so happy. And I love to hate Felix Faust.
Yeah, that's kind of like that's like the go-to answer, because it is a pain in the ass.
Do I love to hate it, or do I just hate? I wonder if that's unbridled hate. I'm not sure.
Little column A, little column B, I think. People that I've said, oh God. I think I'm gonna go with that Hydra cap, the one where he was like, yeah, well, all these Hydra people have Avengers now, and all the Avengers have Hydra now, and they all get like plus 16 because that's what he does, because I don't know, whatever. And I'm like, no. Fuck off. Sorry.
This is the turn luck I'm giving him. Amber? I'm sorry, are we keeping you awake?
Yes. I don't think I have one, to be honest. I'm trying to think of something.
I've got a second answer if you don't have one.
I don't. I don't have one.
Bizarro from
Slosh.
Superman and the Legion of Superheroes. I love that guy, and I hate that guy, so I love hating him when I hate him, and I love loving that guy when I love him.
Oh, Zero and the Tester is another one.
Oh, I love hating the Zero and the Tester. Oh my god. When I play really big games, I actually 9 times out of 10 will build a team that will pass all tests.
Just in case.
Just in case. Alright, next up. Which sculpture do you love? It's going back a bit, and it is a fan-designed figure. I do love George Masu's Black Adam. His championship figure, the one where it's basically Black Adam holding up George Masu. I think that figure is pretty fantastic for what it is, and I love that sculpt a lot, to be honest. I mean, there's so many good sculpts, but I think that one just stands out as a definite favorite for me. What about you, Aiden?
Anything from Brave and the Bold.
Aiden, he wants honest answers to these questions.
I know.
Not dirty, rotten lies.
Dirty, rotten lies. My particular favorite sculpt is the original Chase Unique Kingdom Come Superman.
Oh yeah.
He's kind of flying, and he's got the cape going on, and it looks like it's taken from the comic book. That's glorious. I love that sculpt.
The paint job was terrible. The sculpt was great.
Well, yeah, but
Amber?
My favorite sculpts are actually some of the original X-Men team bases, because they were designed to look like a panel out of the comics. Like, they've got the Excalibur on the side of the cliff and their lighthouse, and then you've got like X-Men Blue where they're in the danger room and it's like half going into the danger room, so you get a little bit of that like robotic side to it. I think I love those just because they were designed and set up to be scenes anyways. So
you know what, when it comes to sculpture, I'll accept the team bases as pretty nice sculptures. Nothing beyond that.
It's the only thing they're worth for. We have them up in the closet because they look pretty.
All right. Now, I don't know if Malcolm wanted us to specifically answer this, like, with people or types of people, but which players do you love to play? Now, I've played so many players at this point, I don't want to pick a favorite player, but I do want to pick a type of player, and that type of player is someone who can be casually competitive, and that is, I'm going to my super high level tournament. We both sit across from each other and we smile because we both remember that we're playing a game, and we laugh about the stupid things that happen in our game. I enjoy that type of player. So, if I've been critically missing the entire game and I'm laughing and you're laughing too, we're gonna have a good old time. And if really stupid things happen in the game and we both react like, oh my god, I love that type of game. So that's the type of player I want to play against. It's somebody who's going to be intense, but not all about, winning. I want them to be kind of remembering that we are playing a game and sorry about this light in the background. I'll try to get that out of the frame there.
Stupid sun.
Yeah, I know, sun shining and whatnot. But yeah, so any player who will get a good chuckle even though it's a competitive game, I want to play against all day, every day. What about you, Aiden?
I like that. That's basically the same type of person that I like to play against. It's a fun game. Yes, we're at a tournament, but at the end of the day, it's a game. And somebody who like you, like when I played against you, that's fun because we take it seriously for the 50 minutes or the 45 minutes or whatever it is that it is. But at the end of the day, it's like, okay, we're done. Yay, team, we're back to being friends. And it's not like I want to murder you or, take like half an hour to move.
Our our best games are still the ones with the no-carded figures.
Oh, those are hilarious.
I attack your guy. He's got 12 defense. I've got a 6 attack. I need a 6 to hit.
And then there's a critical.
Amber.
I'm in the same boat as you guys, but
I had to adjust the camera. You don't want the camera to fall while I'm doing this, so.
Well, no, I don't, but you keep cutting off. Anyways, I'm pretty much the same boat with you guys, though more. I'm gonna add a specific insert in that I love playing our buddy Adam, and that is a perfect example of this kind of player where we can have a semi-serious game that just kind of goes off the rails and everybody's looking at us because we're just laughing our heads off playing the game.
I miss Adam. I miss Adam a lot. He stopped playing ever since he had a kid. He got married and stuff.
Things.
All right. Next up, what kinds of HeroClix games do you love to play? I love the ones that come down to individual movements and strategies and small, like it could be a completely even game, and it will come down to 1 or 2 squares will make a difference. Any game that is that tight, that close, that awesome, that well moved, like anything that has ended after both of us have used strategy. I like a very strategic game. It's why I like closed indoor maps, or like the Wiz Kid's Office or the Underground Cave, because you're forced to move, you're forced to get into position, and at times expose yourself when you really shouldn't. So you got to understand the risk to reward factor. So that's my favorite type of HeroClix game.
I like pre-releases, pre-release sealed,
yeah,
because that tends to be the most fun in terms of getting people together. There's a lightheartedness to the atmosphere, more so than going to a constructed or even a sealed like WK or something like that, where the factors are, okay, whatever you're pulling and like freaking deal with it, and then like learning about the figure as you go. And I don't know how many times I've heard or I've said, oh, I didn't realize he did that. When I'm using a figure, it's like, oh. And then we were doing the Secret World Battle World. I was sitting next to Amber. I'm like, oh, he's indomitable? She goes, Aiden, learn your figures. And then she goes, oh, he can fly. I said, Amber, use your figures. and stuff like, right. Yeah, and it was like, it's just like the learning process where it can be silly because it's like, you've never seen these figures, you've never actually activated with them. I mean, given the fact that 98% of sets are spoiled before like the pre-release now or anyway. But besides that, those are the most fun that I love.
I'm gonna add on to what he did and said. You know what's great in a pre-release is when you accidentally make a name theme team. That's what I did at Earth X. I looked at my figures like, I have no idea what. I'm just gonna play these 4 guys. Turned out they all had Earth X keyword, and I was like, whoa, cool.
That's fun.
Amber?
I think my favorite games, and like it's kind of, I want to say rare that this happens because it's not really something that you can go out of your way to make happen, and that is, I love when you can get a game where the craziest stuff just kind of happens. Either you're able to pull off a Hail Mary, or you have a crazy power combo, or like characters themselves that work together really well, and to the point where like it's so awesome to see something like that where I actually start like cheering for my opponent, where they're like, I'm gonna do this move, and I'm like, yes, do it, I want to see this get pulled off, this is amazing.
That's cool. All right, and last question from the Valentine's collection from Mr. Malcolm Rush. Why do you love this game?
Oh my god.
Get a look at everybody's face. It's like, because comic books and collectible games, that's why. Because Versus System doesn't exist anymore, that's why. Because I like playing with toys, and because this has a rule set, I'm technically playing a board game, and it's less embarrassing. I mean, yeah. Aiden?
I've got like this weird OCD thing where I have to collect things and I have to complete things, and this is one of those games where you have to, you complete sets and you can play with them, and they're based on comic books, so that's pretty much it for me. I mean, That and I don't do sports.
Amber?
So, the worst part about this is that my initial reaction, the first thing I thought was, do I still love this game?
Ooh.
Oh.
I don't know, it's something to get out and play with friends. I've met so many, like, a good amount of the people that I spend regular amounts of time with, between even, like, my husband and all of my friends are people that I met through HeroClix. So it's kind of like, if I stop playing the game, I don't really have excuses to go see my friends anymore.
Fair enough. All right, next up, we're starting to get some rapid fire points before we get to Malcolm Rush Part 2. First up, who has a better rogue gallery of villains, Spider-Man or Batman? And does this reflect the same in HeroClix? If not, why? Okay. As far as the comic books are concerned, I feel like Batman has a better rogues gallery. But as far as HeroClix is concerned, Spider-Mans are better. And the reason is that Batmans are intriguing because of their stories. Spider-Mans are intriguing because they fight Spider-Man. They don't send other people to fight for them. In most cases. Kingpin being like one of a few exceptions. But so as a result, in HeroClix, they kind of reflect how they work, I think. Where like a Batman villain would be a little bit more, I got buddies, and my buddies are going to protect me, and I'm going to outsmart you. Whereas Spider-Man's, I'm going to kill you! But, I don't know. What do you think, Aiden?
I think it's a very different question because, and congratulations to whoever decided to answer that question.
Yeah, it was an anonymous one.
Because I don't feel that you're really comparing apples to apples. Batman villains tend to be human, super crazy people. Like the Joker, the Penguin. Like you said, they're bosses, they have flunkies that go out and do this. They're not super powered villains like Spider-Man has. So the power and the ability to do certain things in HeroClix forms are significantly, they're wider ranging with Spider-Man villains, because it's like, okay, you've got Dr. Octopus, you've got, who you could justify having Flurry or that, or make up to 3 close attacks or 4 close attacks or something like that, or the Lizard or the Rhino or something like that. Wherein really the only superpowered villains that you have in the Batman villains is Clayface. Clayface and maybe Bane, maybe Poison Ivy if you really get down to it. But they're really just, I'm Bane, I've got, the Venom thing, and I'm just going to punch you. So I'm going to go with Spider-Man on this one, even though I'm more of a Batman fan. I am going to go with Spider-Man as being the more better villain.
Okie doke. Amber?
This is actually a really interesting question for me in the fact that I hate Spider-Man, I hate Batman. But I love their villains. So like part of the Batman universe, whatever, not the greater DC universe, but like the Batman storytelling, is that like I love the Batman villains and I love the Batman family. And that's what I find interesting in reading those comics. I could care less about Bruce Wayne himself. And then same on the Spider-Man side, where I've only really recently started to kind of like Spider-Man again, and more of that has to do with like the extended Spider-Verse and all of the other characters that are with them. But I've never really cared too much about this Spider-Man villains, except in HeroClix, because they've always been really well represented. And it kind of goes back with what both Jason and Aiden have said, where with the Batman villains, they have better stories in the comics, but then with the Spider-Man villains, they're just easier translated into the game. You get a better kind of feel for the characters, and you had some of the like really good characters come out, even like high-end meta-wise. Like if you look at the competitive scene, the meta scene of HeroClix over the last, say, 6 or 7 years, like high-end Goblin King is technically a Spider-Man villain. Alyosha Craven is a Spider-Man villain. Doc Ock is a Spider-Man villain. How we've had maybe 1 or 2 Jokers show up in meta because of the craziness that is Joker. And it has nothing really to do with Joker as a character. It's just that, hey, here's this really crazy mechanic that we've decided to throw on a Joker. Have at it. So I think even if you just take all the characters away and just look at the figures themselves on the competitive scene, Spider-Man does fare better than Batman does.
At least for variety. It's always the Joker. Never forget Lamp.
Yeah.
All right, next up. So, we all know Batman is lucky enough to have not one, but 3 memorable theme songs. Is there a song that you can think of that reminds you of Batman that isn't his song? Probably should have given you guys warning on this one, now that I think about it.
I knew this one was coming.
Okay, you knew this one. Well, because
Aiden
Aiden wouldn't have known because Aiden doesn't have access to the dock. But we should give him access to the dock now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of fun getting this all dropped. I honestly didn't take time to think about this one to be.
Okay, so I'm assuming that we're looking at, in terms of theme songs, we're talking about the 60s theme, the one from the cartoon, and the Tim Burton-y one.
I figured the one for the cartoon was the same. Isn't it? Aren't they both that Danny Elfman type of do thing?
I guess. What would be the third one then?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm kind of lost on the whole, like, there's 3 memorable Batman songs.
Unless we're talking about Batmobile lost his wheel, Joker got away. But that's not really a theme song.
That song was used in the Batman animated series, oddly enough.
Yeah. Batman's gonna make it. What happened? Batmobile lost his wheel, Joker got away. True story.
Actually, and even the Joker was singing that song when he escaped from prison in one of the Christmas episodes.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, when he escaped from Arkham.
Oh, cool.
It's like it was a weird scene where all the Arkham inmates are singing Christmas carols, and then Joker starts singing the Batmobile lost his wheel thing.
Okay,
anyway,
we're gonna go with that one.
Maybe I should go with Survivor by Destiny's Child, or Beyonce. Is that Beyonce?
Yeah, Destiny's Child.
It is Destiny's Child. Yeah, I got that right. I'm a survivor.
Okay, I gotta ask, why does that make you think of Batman?
Because Batman gets the crap beaten out of him all the time. How is he still alive? Because he's a survivor. He's. I don't know. Batman, you don't sing about Batman. If you sing you know what? How about half the rap songs in the world that sing about how rich they are? More money, more problems. There we go. That was darn, Mace, right?
Sure.
Don't ask us about rap.
It's like asking me about
Wrong
sports.
audience, come on.
Moving on.
Amber.
Yeah, actually I was thinking on this, and it's kind of funny because if you go outside the realm of, like, TV shows and comics or whatever, you don't really get a whole lot of songs about Batman. You have a really surprising amount of songs about Superman, though, which is just kind of a funny observation there.
But when it comes down to it, sorry, I'm going to interrupt for a second. If you sing about Batman, you're being arrogant. Because, if I sang a song as though I am Batman, right? I'm rich. I'm smart. I'm strong. I'm super smart. You know?
Take you out with one hand, tied behind my back.
Superman is super noble, and he's like,
parents.
Yeah. Well, that and yeah. So anyway, sorry.
If you do want some pretty cool songs about Batman, though, I would suggest checking out the Music Meister episode of Batman Brave and the Bold. Is a musical episode. Honestly, even if you don't want to watch it, find the soundtrack to it, but might as well watch it. It's like 22 minutes. It's a half-hour kids show, but it's a Neil Patrick Harris singing about Batman for a half hour, and it's fantastic.
There we go. All right, next. What, and you, in this one, he added, we don't have to stick to Marvel or DC on this one. Which hero or villain without an alternative storyline would you like to see in a Western timeline alternate storyline? I'm of 2 minds of this. One of my minds is the Ninja Turtles, but I feel like that's been done. So I'm going off the beaten path here. I'm going to say Conan. I want to see Conan the Barbarian in the Old West. With the sword. Aiden?
Hellboy?
Ooh, that would be good. Because he didn't show up on Earth until World War II, so that would be him going back in time. In Hellboy, in the Western?
That'd be neat. I mean,
it would be neat.
Just even the implicate, like transporting the person in time would be cool, but I mean, like, back then they were even more, like, superstitious and shit like that, so it'd be even more interesting.
Oh, Lord, the devil has come!
Basically.
Alright. Amber. You can stick to Marvel DC if you want.
No, I know. I'm trying to think of like all the comics that I'm reading right now or whatever, and well, it's not really. It's. I don't have a real answer, so I'm going to cheat because part of the most recent run of Exiles, they go to like a Old West world, and you come across the King, and he's like one of my favorite new characters for Exiles, and it's Black Panther in a Western, and it's like Django Unchained style, like that's what he looks like, and I want that world to be expanded, because they were there for one issue, so technically it exists, but doesn't really exist, because it's Exiles, but I would love to actually just have like a mini-series run of that, that world, because like the big bad in that world was a dementia addled Professor X that was like going insane and controlling people.
Cool. All right. Next up, guys, we have common generic ninjas. We have common generic cowboys. Why? Oh, why don't we have common generic pirates? I think I have I'm going to go with my using logic and reason version of this answer. Oddly enough, guys, it started like really snowing as we get further north. My easy answer for this, or my logical answer, is we haven't had a reason to create a common generic pirate because we haven't had a non-generic pirate with which to fit into a set. And I feel like we're going to get that when we finally get Doom and his time-traveling platform, you see. And then we have our pirates from when the Fantastic Four go back in time to go get something for Dr. Doom in his first appearance story. But at the same time, I feel like we're also going to get Blackbeard Thing out of that set, if that does happen. Because the funny part of that story is, like, at the end of it, they're on Blackbeard's ship. It's like, we're on Blackbeard's ship, but where is Blackbeard? Turns out Thing turned into Blackbeard or something like that. It was really weird. It was all kinds. It was the 1960s. Like, it was literally issue number 5 of the Fantastic Four.
Because, like, he shows up again in the most recent Exiles. They, like, end up in a weird storybook world where it's all, and they come across, like, Sinbad and the Seven Seas, and they get attacked by pirates, and one of the pirates is, like, Blackbeard Thing.
Yeah, because the Thing, according to the Marvel timeline, Blackbeard is the Thing.
That's so crazy. And then they also come across, I think it was Falcon and Redwing were pirates. Like, Falcon was a pirate. And there's a couple of, like, cool pirate things. So, like, hey, give us an Exile set, and you can have some generic pirates. There we go.
Oh, we got 2 ways of doing it now. Aiden, why don't we have common generic pirates?
Well, my first instinct was probably because there wasn't really a demand for it. And second of all, I would think along the lines of the reason you're excuse me, the examples that you gave. We have generic ninjas because they came out with, you know, the hand.
Yep.
And we have gunslingers because they came out with the Western styled sets, sub-themes for certain sets.
Yep.
So, again, if possible, if they did, like, I suppose, like, what if all the X-Men were pirates, they could theoretically do one. But then I'm thinking to myself, why in the fuck would I want a generic pirate to begin with? and I'm sorry to whoever I just crushed their dreams for. But at the same token, it's like we get generics and we don't know why we have them. It's like the generic Superman armored guys from What If, and then we get like the Jimmy Olsen sculpt reuse. It's like, I don't know why I have these, but I'm assuming that we have a reason for it to fill out the slot. So maybe you'll get lucky.
All right, next up, this is another one of those weird questions, and it's kind of a thought experiment, I think.
Ooh.
So, guys, you're Superman.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
So, all right, hold on, I gotta get there. All right, and I'm boring. Gotcha. You have a critical decision to make. The Hall of Justice only has room for one vehicle in the garage. Between the Invisible Jet and the Batmobile, who has to park outside? And I have to say, in all cases, the Invisible Jet is a hazard here. Because the Invisible Jet can't be seen. So if we have it park outside, that's going to cause accidents outside. But then if we park it inside and somebody sees that the Invisible Jet is in there, well, they're not really going to see the Invisible Jet. They're just going to drive in thinking, oh, parking spot's open. So this is just going to cause nothing but problems. So
Batmobile parks inside. That makes the most sense. I mean, the Invisible Jet, it's a fucking jet. Why would you put the jet inside?
I mean,
Well, they have hangar bays. Like, that's a thing. Jets do get parked inside.
I know, but I mean, if you're choosing between parking the car inside or parking the jet inside, you park the car inside. Because then nobody steals the fucking Barmobile. Why are we having this argument?
But also,
because somebody asked.
why are we
To
just
find that
putting
person
the jet
with
on the
balls.
roof?
What's that?
Why aren't we just putting the jet on the roof?
Have you seen the roof of the Hall of Justice?
It's curved.
Yeah. So?
You know what? If I'm Superman, this isn't my problem. This is the John Jones problem.
No, if I'm super.
drop the camera instead of drop the mic. Oh, that's like the old IT problem, old IT joke of how many computer programmers does it take to screw in a light bulb? It's a hardware problem.
Oh, okay.
All right. Now we're entering the St. Paddy's Day questions, which is odd because at the time of filming this, it's the day before St. Paddy's.
Yeah.
Apologize for the accent, too. All right. So next up,
It's one of who's your favorite Irish?
it's a lot of luck-related questions, actually.
Okay.
So, which HeroClix equipment, relics, dice, or maps bring you the best and or worst luck in the game? I got one answer for this. It's the disintegration beam. Because every time I use it, it works. And in order to work, you need to roll a 10 or higher. Therefore, mission accomplished. Aiden?
The worst sometimes is when you have the teleporter or the Avengers Roundtable, and for whatever reason you've got like 5 cards, and you're going to roll that 6 every time to pick the card in the slot. So I enjoy it, and sometimes I do have luck with it. But it's like if something's going to go like, okay, watch me roll 6s this entire time that we're doing this.
Yeah, I've been there. Amber?
I'm trying to think back, and I think the best sort of thing that I had luck with would probably be the Book of Skulls.
Oh, because you don't need luck with Book of Skulls. It eliminates luck as a problem.
Do you remember that one time that we were playing and Ryan like pulse waved, or somebody used pulse waving and had like the hammer on it, and he ended up doing like the entire dial in one like turn or something stupid like that?
Yeah, I remember that.
Anyway.
Alright. Do you, before a game, do anything to give you good luck? Obviously I don't. And if I do, it doesn't work. No, I don't. I'm not really the superstitious type when it comes to that.
I see the thing. I want to make sure that we're being on the 98.
So, sorry, we had to hand the directions to.
Yeah.
I am personally not somebody who does something for any sort of level of luck, as it were. I used to have like a a little mascot Mario poker chip, but I moved that over to make room in my kit, I think. But ultimately, I don't do anything I would say that to try to give myself luck, because whatever I was doing was not working.
Yeah. Excuse me. I don't either. You know, certain things, it's like, oh, am I wearing the right colored shirt or something like that? Sometimes I'll be like that.
Shots fired at Tom.
Oh, I don't mean it like that. No, I don't mean like that. No, that's just fun. I just love that. But no, it's like, are you wearing... this is going to probably lead in, I think you warned me about this earlier. There's going to be another question later on about pulls. I do find that if the last couple of times where I've pulled certain characters, I've been wearing the same kind of like shirt, sweatshirt kind of combination type thing, and that's really kind of freaked me out when it's happened. So it's like, okay, maybe I don't want to wear that. And we're slowing down.
Oh, and we're kind of in the middle there.
It's okay. Sorry.
All right. Amber.
I don't do anything.
I don't do anything.
I don't do anything. Luck is luck. I don't even know if I believe in luck. I'll say it, but
I don't believe in luck either. I believe in probability, and probability things will occur. When in a game, the dice gods decide to give all your rolls bad rolls, and no matter what, it's all bad luck. What do? I laugh. I used to get angry. Now I laugh, because what do? You know, it's like I've done everything right, and the dice have decided I have not done enough. So I just carry on with the game and hope that I can recover from where I was. That's all. I laugh. Aiden?
You got to learn to accept it. That's all you got to do. It's just like, you know what? This is the way that things are happening today. These are the things that are going to be doing. You know what? You're going to roll a 4. No matter what. You can change your dice, but you're going to roll the 4. And you just have to sit there and like, this is just how this day is going to go.
Amber?
I've gone on tilt before because of dice. I know it's happening. Sometimes you can't really stop it from happening. It's better to just laugh off the dice and be like, oh, well, nothing I can do about that. But a lot of the times, you're just not in the right environment or mindset to be able to laugh that off, and it can get pretty bad. It's gone to tears and hysterical laughing before, so there's that. If anybody saw me at Canadian Nationals where I grinded for like 12 hours and still didn't qualify, you've probably seen me at my worst, so...
You were that bad.
She was bad.
Yeah.
I think you left. You didn't see me at my worst.
You didn't see her at her worst, no.
I'm sorry.
All right. Have you played against a piece that should be easy to beat, but you've had bad luck against? That one is always, that's a hard one. Okay, what do you got, Aiden?
Oh, you want me something specific? Okay. I don't have a specific one, but there's been sips. It's like, okay, I need to roll a 4. I know I can do like 6 damage with it if I roll that fucking 4, and I don't because I rolled a 3, and there's no one around to prov it. That, I guarantee you, has happened at least once. Mm-hmm. So that's probably for every player that somebody can say, yeah, I have actually done something where I should have been, and like...
It always ends up being like a generic or like a 25-point character or something.
How come
something
you can't kill that
just
pog?
Like, that was supposed to be... Why have I wasted an entire turn trying to kill that one thing?
Why do I want these 25 points so bad?
Absolutely, absolutely. More specifically, there is actually a game that you guys will never see. We filmed it, we got rid of the footage. We refused to release it. It was very early on. I got very drunk playing a game, and I was determined to kill a Scarlet Witch that I really had no business needing to kill, but because I was drunk and on a vendetta, I was convinced that that Scarlet Witch needed to die, and spent the entire game basically losing for myself because I refused to attack anything but that Scarlet Witch.
Was that the Brotherhood versus Avengers game we never released?
Yes.
Okay, I'll give you the one. It's even better than the Amber one. You and I were playing at a sealed event, actually in Elmvale, and you had Shazam and Zatanna, and you had the Johnny Constantine rabbit. And I spent the entire game trying to kill that fucking rabbit the entire time. And I couldn't kill the rabbit.
Yep.
Big problem.
Kill the wabbit, kill the wabbit.
So, there you go for something specific.
Oh man, there's a few of these. It's one of those situations. I'm picturing a game where I looked across the board and said, how can I lose this? And I lost it. And I can't really come up with that, but there have been situations where, you know what? I do remember now. It was a game against Evan in our store. It was Age of Ultron, and I was just having a bad day at Age of Ultron that day. And I kept trying to kill this one, only paid 30 points for Ultron drone. And like, imagine trying to hit that 7, Jason. No. Oh no. So, that was a game that ended with Luke Cage finally killing it in one of those maps with orange terrain. And
is it where he hit him and he knocked him back and he fell off the plane? Or did he super strength punch him?
No, Luke Cage made the move to attack. It was like that because you don't take the damage until after resolutions of the action.
Yeah.
Luke Cage was on like his last click, and I charged with him, hit the Ultron drone for that last hit, and then when he took the damage, he died. And I was like, well, Luke Cage just did a "Oh Sweet Christmas" right off the building to kill the...
I remember something similar.
Yeah.
Telling me about that.
Yeah. Although I do have to go back to our, now that I really think about it, our it was Avengers vs. X-Men, month 1, and I had you dead to rights.
I'm glad you remember because I have no idea what you're talking about.
It was my Spider-Man and your White Queen.
Oh, okay.
And I range combat expert with the Spider-Man because we had the Phoenix Force in use for that. And I needed a 4 to hit, and it would have been a one-shot kill, and I critically missed, and then missed every subsequential super senses on that.
I remember that now, yeah.
And I was like, I just lost that game, and it was mine. The game was mine. That was actually the last... it was the last day I ever... And it's because I critically missed on a push. I got greedy. And I was like, that's
oh my gosh, I remember this now.
And everybody who's like, oh, I'm dead, just kill me. No, because of this... That's why I'm not doing that to you anymore. I have fully had the game in my hands. Aiden had no business getting a win out of this game, and then I just lost. Yeah, exactly. So, if you see me being super careful towards the end of a game, and you've got one dude left, you're wondering why is Jason doing this to me? It's because I have handedly taken defeat from the jaws of victory.
I don't need this. I just don't need this anymore.
I did end up getting second in that tournament still after that loss, so I was kind of happy. Like, I walked out with the cable still. I was like, what? Okay. And it's because the next 2 games I completely swept, and that was a high point loss. So. All right, next up. How lucky are you when you open boosters? Hey, Aiden, how lucky are you?
Oh, fuck off.
Aiden, let's answer this question this way. How many Ultra Chase Captain Marvels have you pulled?
Okay, now, we need to set the story straight here. First of all, the first one was in my case that I purchased, so I don't technically consider that a blind pull. I have pulled 3 in total. The second one was I bought a random booster at the store, and it was there. And then, this is the best story, and it's actually better if you hear Mike White explain it, because he gets really emotional about it.
It's emotional. Yeah, thanks.
We were doing a battle royale, and in order to pick the boosters, we rolled off. I rolled a 3, so I was therefore the last person to pick my booster. Everybody else had picked them, and I picked the last one. And they had begun, I was distracted, I didn't open mine up right away. I ended up opening it up. Rare Mr. Negative, or rare Stegron, rare Namor. I can't remember what Stan pulled. It wasn't a super rare, I don't believe. It was a rare of some sort. And then I got my Ultra Chase, the Ultra Chase, and the Mr. Negative. And it was like the universe just wants me to have this, and I don't want it.
And you've gotten rid of.
I've gotten rid of all three. Right? Well, I got rid of the 2, and then I lost the Battle Royale, so I didn't get it. But it was like, I don't know. It's like, why? It's like giving a vegan a steak. It's like, here, Mr. Vegan, have like, what's the name of it? M&M Meat Shop's gift certificate. Like, I mean, really.
Fair enough.
But yes, I do have a tendency to pull. I pulled the SR or the Chase at the pre-release as well. Not the Ultra Chase, but like Gwenpool or something. So it's sometimes it's just downright stupid. Evan is another one. Evan during, I think it was the War of Light, was pulling all of the Evan entities, and for some reason it was the same one.
Evan is also very quiet about it, and that's what I love about it. It's like, was there a chase pulled anyone? And he's just quiet. He's sitting there with his chase, like not mentioning anything. So we're trying to get the chase count, trying to figure out who got them so we can yell at them. And Evan's just in the corner, and I'll high five him every time he pulls a chase.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's great when somebody does.
Yeah, but as long as it's not Aiden.
Well, as long as it's not Ryan.
Oh, as long as it's not Ryan.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm going to take Mr. Humble over here and feed him some pie. Because Avengers Defenders War pre-release, 2 packs, we mixed the, was it 2 cases that we had?
We had the 2 cases mixed.
This guy, 2 chases.
No. And we have to point out 2 things. 1, I was judging the event, and 2, they were the last 2 boosters.
Yep.
So, you know, when the universe wants it, you should put, but they were the Rachel Cole's, whatever.
Rachel Cole Alves and the World Breaker.
And the World Breaker. I thought Jason was going to leap across like 4 tables and kill me.
I only got past 1 before people stopped me.
Yes, it's true.
Took a lot of people to stop me.
It did.
Took a lot. Okay, so what else have we... Aiden has pulled in several Battle Royales a chase.
Yeah.
Like, he constantly pulls chases in Battle Royales, is why he doesn't get them.
I just don't. It just happens. It's like, okay. I even said that to Evan, and Evan's like, I don't think I'm going to be able to come this week to the WKO we're going to. I'm like, I'm going to pull the Ultra Chase for you. I swear to God, if I actually do, I'm just going to walk out that store. I'm going to set it on fire and it's going to leave.
Amber, don't forget to put a language warning on this episode. Aiden has dropped like 4 F-bombs.
Sorry. A little early in the morning.
Amber, what's your booster luck like?
My booster luck is... It's always what I don't want it to be. Because I'll end up like pulling a super rare or a chase, and then that's all I ever pull, is that one super rare or chase. And I think I pulled the Chase Iron Fist, the female Iron Fist from was that Secret Wars?
Yeah, the Battle Wars.
Yeah, I think I pulled that 3 times, like that one specifically. But also, like, my luck seems to be good for other people. Like, the people around me pull really well. Although, like, the one story that, like, I will never forget was that we were when we were first doing War of Light, because it was still pretty early in, like, the storyline events and stuff and getting it organized through our store, we had everybody line up based on, like, when they had, like, signed up or whatever. So we had a big lineup. And then Ryan comes out of nowhere and stands in front of me in line, and the asshole pulls 2 entities. And I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, you butt in line and then pull 2 chases. Like, you asshole.
My booster luck fluctuates. I mean, when I won a WKO at the store we're going to, the first time, I pulled a Wonder Woman and Harley Quinn. Title Harley Quinn. So like the Wonder Woman chase and title Harley Quinn, and Harley Quinn said that was a pretty good pull. But then if you look back at my Team World's top 4 showing, we had 2 super rares in our entire pull pool, and only one of them got used. So that was a thing.
Yeah, that was the WKO that you're talking about. You were sitting across from Amber. You'd opened your case, I think, like the week before.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And you pulled the Wonder Woman, which you had gotten in the WizKid sent one.
Yeah,
and then you got the Shazam, and you got the Shazam, which you had pulled in your case.
Yep.
Or Amber pulled it. like, and it was like, we're just keep on getting Shazams and Wonder Woman.
That's all we get.
That's all you were getting.
Like I was saying, anytime I get like a super rare or a chase, it's something that I already have.
And the real upsetting part is it's usually one nobody wants.
Yeah.
Well, that's, yeah.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm an Iron Fist fan, but not so much so that I need 4 chase Iron Fists.
No.
So, all right, that's on the way there. We got all through all the questions. That's impressive, guys. Good work. It was a good old time. We love this show. Always get those questions in. Always check that link down below to see what's up. If you want to throw in your own question, these are completely anonymous unless not. And we're really excited to answer these questions on the way to our HeroClix tournaments. So
I've got one that you guys can answer.
Oh, Hayden's got a question.
I do. And the people that are watching this, if they want to put their comments into the answer to the question. Okay, so you're given a choice by WizKids. You select a set that has already been released. You can only do one of 2 things. You can either change the sculpts or you can change the dials.
Ooh.
What set do you choose?
Ooh.
And you have to include every figure.
So every figure, either new sculpt or new dial.
Yep.
I mean, I kind of want to run on your joke there and just change all the sculpts of Brave and the Bold. But that wouldn't be my actual answer. Change the dials on a set. Amber, what would you do if you were to change the dials on a set?
I would actually do and like market it as like a retro set, but I would go back and redo all the dials from Explosion. Keep the sculpts, whatever, because that's kind of a funny throwback thing, but redo all the dials for Explosion because that set was fantastic for the character selection in it.
It did have one of the best. It also had the con artist, oddly enough. Is that what you want? You want a return of the con artist?
Well, no, I just want the original Psylocke back. And Wolfsbane. And like that was the set that had like all of the X-Men characters where I'm like, oh my god, I love this game.
Fair enough. I'm between Fantastic Forces redialed or Clobbering Time redialed. And I think I'd go with Fantastic Forces. Just because that was such a cool gimmick set.
You know what? Fantastic Forces had some really great sculpts too.
Yeah,
they did. So you don't have to really worry about that.
Yeah, because like Ultimate Doctor Doom looked beautiful. It needs a new dial now. So I remember that pre-release. That pre-release was the weirdest tournament for me because I went 1 and 2, and I shouldn't have gotten that 1 win. It was a charge with a rookie thing on a unique Doctor Doom. I needed like an 8 to hit. It would have hit for like 5 damage and gotten the Doctor Doom off of Invulnerable. But I was just like, this is just not happening. I had 2 characters with damage of 3 or higher, and one of them was that thing. So it was pretty brutal for me. So Fantastic Forces redialed. What would you do, Aiden?
Yeah, I know. I'm going to redial. Excuse me. I'm gonna redial. I think, and update giant size X-Men. And I mean, I'm not saying that because I think that the set was, it's not a crappy set, but it's the first kind of set that I really started to, like, beforehand I collected the set, collected HeroClix. I never actually played, but it was like that set. It was like, I remember I got like a case for the first time. Like I had people come up, like Rory came over and we played because we picked it up the same day. And then I remember going to the events and And I think that as a throwback, as it were, I would want to kind of update that because they had it was a neat selection of characters that were cool. So I'd probably do that.
All right, so there we go. Move and attack. We moved, we've attacked, we resolved the action. Have a good one, folks.